You ever been so tired, but you can't sleep, and you're up late at night, and you know you got to get up in the morning to go to work? Like, yeah, that's where I'm at this moment. It's 1:30 in the morning. This is just sharing my thoughts, my rambling thoughts at 1:30 in the morning. So if you don't fox with me like that, then feel free to hop out the video. But if you do, like, BS, BS with me for a little bit. Like, sometimes, you know, there's a Steve Jobs quote that I love. He gave at some point years ago, and he said people say that you have to have a lot of passion for what you do, and he said it's totally true because it's so hard, it's so difficult that any sane person would quit. He's like, there's a lot of worrying, there's a lot of stressing, there's a lot of struggle that goes on with, you know, believing in something and having passion in something. So if you don't love doing what you're doing, if you're not having fun with it, then you're gonna fail because you're gonna quit because you're thinking like, who would want to put up with something like that if they didn't love it? You know what I mean? And I think about that, and I think about like that with vlogging and this channel and my message, and I when I first my first channel that I had, I was just like trying to do what everybody else was doing. I was like, oh, but this has got views, and this kind of vlog has got views, and this kind. So I would do that, and I was failing, and rightfully so. My channel didn't go nowhere because it was boring. It wasn't authentic. And when I started this channel, I started just doing shorts. I was like, well, maybe I don't know what it takes to make a full vlog, an interesting vlog or whatever. My life isn't interesting enough. But then a lot of shit started happening, and I was like, okay, well, maybe my life just got a little more interesting. So I decided to, you know, start vlogging, making long form videos again. But I decided I wanted to be more authentic. Like, I wanted to do what more just came natural. You know what I mean? And these type of vlogs right here, like, I'm sitting here, like, where I'm at. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just, you know, no way. I'm just in the hotel parking lot. Like, and these are more, these are not pretty vlogs. They're not my cinematic vlogs. But I feel like these are the ones that share my deepest thoughts or what I'm thinking about at that time, which is what I want you to know of me. I'm trying to build a community and I'm trying to build a connection. So I want you to know, this is what I think about. But I broke down today, man. I broke down today. Like, I had to pay my storage. Uh, Lexi got paid today, so she made enough to pay the storage. And we had to pay the storage and we had to pay the car because both of them were on the verge of being, being late, and like the storage was 2 months behind. You know what I mean? So they got to the point where they cut my lock and started doing inventory on my stuff so they can auction it. Well, when I called, I found out that there's a $100 charge for them cutting your lock. And the guy on the phone was just so smug and so like, I was like, why the extra charge? And he explained it to me, but he was just like, so like, you didn't do this and you didn't do that, and I'm like, I'm saying to myself, like, damn, dude, like, if you only knew what I was going through, like, think about that, man. Like, I'm struggling. I struggled to pay the rent, which is what got me here, and in the and true fashion to this country, like, the best thing you could do is charge me more money, even though I'm struggling to pay what I needed to pay. If I had that, I would have paid it then. You know what I mean? Like, it was so frustrating. But and I broke down. I was like, wow, like, you know, if it's not one thing, it's another, you know. I broke down and I lost my shit in the car, and I was screaming, I was crying, I was yelling, like I was like, you know, you start thinking like, did I make the right decision? You know, is this all my fault? You know what I mean? Like, how much is this shit my wife gonna take? Because I can't seem to get us ahead, and you know, and get us forward. And I think about that kind of thing, you know what I mean? Because I'm the man, you know, like it's my responsibility to make sure that my family's good, to lead my family into a good life. And, you know, right now, I don't feel like I'm doing that, you know? But I tell myself, like, it's for a purpose, like, it's for a dream. Like, I just keep pushing with every one of these videos, with every vlog, with every short I put, I'm like one step closer to realizing this dream of being a full-time content creator. And not just because I want to make videos, but because, like, something about this, like, I like talking to you. I feel like, you know, being misunderstood and being like overlooked sometimes, and being like, I can't explain it and people think it's fake, but if you've gone through it, then you know what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? Like, I don't really have friends like that. So talking to you, you know, you choosing to click on my thumbnail and watch, and if you made it this far to listen to what I go through and how I feel, like, then maybe you feel like that too, you know what I mean? And you understand. So hopefully, and that's why I put this out on the internet, to hopefully reach somebody who understands and feels like I feel, who's experienced that before, you know what I mean? Being misunderstood and overlooked, and, you know, like, you know, like sometimes people think, oh, like he's got it all figured out, like he's good, he's under, and meanwhile, like, I'm drowning in stress and worry and stuff, like how I'm gonna do this or do that. And I, you know, I don't expect it to come from anybody else but me. But, you know, sometimes I want to be able to share what I'm feeling, and what's that to say? What's that mean when I say, you know, I feel like the only way I can do that is by talking to you like this. What's that say? So I do it, you know. And some people resonate, most don't, but it's okay. Or most pretend like they don't, and, you know, like they don't want, they everything is good. But to those brave enough to listen and say, yeah, I felt like that too, or I understand exactly what you're going through. Like, that's a different kind of, you know. So, but that's just what I was thinking of. Like, I'm just like, you know, I want this to work. I want to, you know, I want to spread the message. I want to build, because I want to show that, you know what, it don't matter where you came from. I grew up in the projects. I was abused physically, mentally. Like, I've been told I was a nobody by the person that was supposed to love me the most. You know, you know, I've gone through stuff. I've lost everything I've had. I almost lost it again, but I've lost everything I've had more than twice. I've, you know, been homeless like I am now. Like, I've been, you know, I've gone through some shit, but I've also, you know, I've done stupid shit that's caused me to have to be there. You know, I just hope that this is one of those times that I made the right decision, that banking on me and my effort, that putting everything I got on my belief in me is worth something. So But anyway, I think I'm gonna go upstairs and try to go to bed because I gotta get up tomorrow. Well, today is Saturday, and it's supposed to be busy all day today. Oh, and I'm finally getting a haircut. Look, yeah, I can't. I don't know how. I don't know if y'all can tell how bad it is, but it's bad. And it's not that my hair is long. Like that's not the problem. Like if it was just long, it wouldn't be an issue. The fact that it grows so wild. Look at the hairs stick out. Like it just, and there's nothing you can do with it once it gets a certain length until it gets longer. And I'm not willing to go through that. So I finally am able to get a haircut tomorrow. So I'll check back in with you then to show you what I look like when I clean it. And anyway, if you made it this far, dude, tap the like button. And you know I love you. Thanks for listening to me and always being there. I can always count on you to be there to listen. So I appreciate it. All right, I'm taking my fat ass back to bed. Peace.